Well, hello, everyone. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Stay tuned. All right. This should say recording in progress. So I want to say hello to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's session of the Learning Trails the topic is going to be why most agents fail. And I've only got a list of about 30. So we're going to rattle through them. Also, what I have done, which you're going to be so excited about, I hope, is as soon as I'm done fighting with bull trails, I am going to have, my agent resource center for you guys. I've got a page that I'm trying to add in there that is the recording of common mistakes that agents make. And it's literally a 2 or 3 minute recording that hits every single one of these topics. So I've got it all prepped, and again, just had a little technical difficulties there, but it should be popping up on, again, my website, lynnhamilton.samsonproperties.net, and under the agent resource tab. As you know, it's getting a makeover right now, but the new one that I want you to look for is common mistakes agents make. There it is. All right, so we are going to go ahead and jump right in on this. And this is almost kind of like a bingo game. So as you're listening to these, jot down or tally which ones you might be making so that you can come back and when we got the recordings up is to really zero in and ask yourself, what do I do to not make that common mistake? And I will tell you, when I have been working on this for several years, and as I interviewed various agents from all across the country and our footprints, and I asked key questions, I took the most common answers back. And at one point, I pulled it back out again, and I looked at it and I thought, okay, these are the common mistakes. But have we at Samson Properties built a safety net for our agents so they don't fall down that crack and fall down that hole? Do we have the support, the education and training that they need to catch themselves from going down that rabbit hole? And I got to tell you, I was proud when I got through the list that yes, here at Samson, we have, and I have as the lead instructor specifically identified and made sure we had the tools, the education in place to keep you from going down that rabbit hole. So with that, let's jump in and have some fun with this list. So a couple bad habits, we're going to start with those, that agents have is trying to do everything. I like to say, don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And this goes specifically, in my mind, to the marketing department of your business. There are 24 marketing pillars that you can choose from. You ain't doing them all. So this is why Jumpstart Session 4 was created in the format that it was to help you identify what you can get excited about so that you're not trying to do everything. Well, I tried that once and it didn't work. Well, I tried that once or twice and it didn't work. Well, guess what? You're right. It doesn't. It's consistent, 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 consistent. I'm going to sound like a broken record. It's marketing 101. The reason that McDonald's still advertises after all these years is because they want to be top of mind when you decide you're hungry, thirsty, want off the freeway for a break or need a bathroom. And they're there. Because when you get off that exit, guess what? You've got more than one option to turn to. They want to be top of mind. So you go to them, not to the other options that are there. So again, a bad habit that most agents need and some need to break is trying to do everything. Find your niche, your excitement, and just deep dive into it. And we're talking about some other things that play into that as well. All right. Another bad habit that agents have is being reactive instead of proactive. The biggest one that jumped to mind when I saw this on my list was agents that do not do a buyer or a seller consultation. And then they have their client yanking them by the tail all over the place. You, newsflash, you are the expert in this industry. You take control and charge from the beginning, which is why a buyer and seller consultation are so critical. It sets the stage. It is an interview. You tell them what you're looking for. They get to hear what, and you get to hear from them as well. You decide, yes, we have a common ground. We can work together, make your agreement, sign the paper, and you're good to go. It's just like hiring or you being hired by any other company that's out there. So again, when you do those buyer and seller consultations, you are proactive instead of oftentimes being reactive when they've said something stupid or they're running around. Well, Zillow said my property is worth this. Well, you've already overcome that objection during the seller consultation because you did the fruit bowl. So there you go. Okay. Another one that was, again, a bad habit is never changing. Now, as we grow up, we change, whether we like it or not, we change. But the industry changes as well. What we used to be able to do 20, 30, 40 years ago is different than what we can do now. So by digging your feet in the ground with, well, I'm never going to change or I'm never going to do anything new, you're going to fall behind. So be open to change. Change is good, is what keeps Kevin and I young and healthy, because we're probably the oldest two on here. And but it keeps it exciting as well. All right. Another bad habit that agents have is scrolling on their phones without a purpose. It is so easy to check Facebook and start, doing your little likes and your comments, and then a reel pops up and you tap on the reel. And the next thing, it's 2 hours later and you're still scrolling through reels. OMG, we're all shaking our heads. Been there, done that. Now, if it is 9 o'clock at night and this is your shutdown unwind time, go for it. But if it's during the day, stay the hell off of it, because it's going to suck you down this hole that's not going to, by the time you raise your head and come back up, it's like, oh, wait, okay, 2 hours have just gone by. What happened? There you go. All right. Another bad habit, and again, common mistake that agents make is learning, but not taking action. Oh my God. This is why you will often and have often heard me say, I don't care what you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. Because if you learn something or attend a class or whatever, and then don't do anything about it, you ain't learned anything. So that's why I always try to end my classes. What was your aha? What was your takeaway? And are you putting it into action? It's one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Okay. Another bad habit that agents have is being either pessimistic or optimistic. Oh, well, the market sucks right now, so I'm going to wait until it picks back up again. Really? Keep waiting, because we'll take the transactions in the meantime. There's always going to be transactions. And this is where we go back to my favorite saying is the business will always be there. It is when the home no longer meets their needs that they will need, not want, but need to change, sell, buy, whatever. Okay. I don't care what the markets do. I don't care what the interest rates are. Now, when interest rates are down to 2%, you're right. There's a whole lot of people that can now get into the market because it's easier for them to afford it. But even when the markets are back up, Okay. I think Kevin can probably laugh at this. Greg, you might fall into this category as well. When I bought my first home with my husband back in 1983, 80, probably 83, 84 maybe. Interest rates were 19%, 19 to 21. Okay. And then when the market came down to like 15 to 17, we did what everybody else did. We refinanced. And over time, it came down and came down and came down and came down. And yes, several years ago when we were at 2% or 2.5%, guess what? Almost every homeowner did. Raise your hand. You refinanced. There you go. It's what we do. So this is why too we tell our potential buyers, you marry the house, but you date the rate. Rates are like your blood pressure. They are going to fluctuate. And I used to absolutely love it when somebody would ask me, so what are rates doing today? And I go, I don't know, what's your blood pressure doing? Because it fluctuates. Rates fluctuate. And even within a 24-hour, they can be up, they can be back down a little bit. Okay. It is what it is. So again, just accepting that that is part of the game as well. Okay. So on to my next list. Common mistakes that agents make and how to avoid them with Samson's help. And for those that just popped in, yes, this whole next list that we're talking about has a mini video to go with it. And yes, this is going to be going up on my website. There you go. It's going to be going up on my website under the common mistakes that agents make within the Agent Resource Center for you. So by luck, fingers crossed, they'll be up by tomorrow. All right, number one on the list is no business plan. Okay. I don't care if your business plan consists of, I need to do 2 transactions this year. I'm okay with that. But you've got to know what your target needs to be. And oh, wait, look, we even have a full worksheet that's available for you. It's business planning and tracking. I'll make sure it's uploaded on my site again under the Agent Resource tab under bonus handouts. It's a simple, very simplistic, and we look at for the rest of the year, then we break it down to quarter. Gang, this is the perfect time to tighten up over this next week because April 1st is right around the corner, and that is the beginning of a new quarter. It is the ideal time to go, just tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. It's kind of like spring cleaning. Tighten up, and then think about what do you need to get done for the next 3 months, the next quarter. Because if we always think, oh, I've got all year to do it, we're going to push it out, push it out, push it out. And then all of a sudden it's November, December, and you're going, oh, shoot, what happened? Okay. So not having a business plan, we're going to make sure we've already got you covered on that. Expecting immediate results. I wish I could tell you that in this industry, you do one little thing and it's going to produce results. Again, we are not in sales. So get that out of your mind. We're in marketing and needs assessment. I cannot go to someone in the parking lot out here and catch them and say, and convince them by selling techniques to sell or buy a home. That is not how this business works. And I know it is one of the frustrating things of this industry is not having immediate results. And I always hear agents all the time, well, I sent out 50 and I didn't hear anything back. Okay, that's because they don't have a need this second. Now, their need may change in a week or in a month or in a couple of months. But so often agents are looking for the immediate quick fix, the immediate magic wand, magic bullet, magic fairy dust, magic unicorn, and it's not out there. Okay, this is a business that does build out. Now, yes, sometimes you can score a good one and it quote unquote lands in your lap, but you've done the prep work for it to land in your lap. Okay. Number 3 on the list is not planning financially. I know I have seen agents come in the front door and out the back that literally ran themselves into a financial hole because they had 2 transactions coming, they had a $10,000 check coming in, and they spent 12 of it. Now, I'm no good at math, but I can figure that one out real fast. They didn't plan for a downtime. They didn't plan for taxes. They didn't plan for business expenses, yada, da, 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 da. And guess what? We got you covered on that one. Because in one of the classes that I've already done, it's called Know Your Numbers. It is in Samson University for you. And I actually have an Excel spreadsheet. If you want it, email me. I'll see if I can get it up on the bonus handouts as well. It's an Excel spreadsheet and it's already got programmed numbers in where all you've got to do is put in the amount that you're going to be earning and it automatically calculates it and breaks it down for you. It gives you an idea of really what is your quote unquote paycheck, what needs to be saved for reinvestment, for savings, for taxes, for whatever. So if that is something you need, again, we've already got it for you. It's yours for the asking. Number 4 on the list is common mistake is marketing efforts. They don't understand marketing and they don't understand that we are in the marketing business. Number 5 on the list is not saying no. It is okay to tell a client no. It is okay to fire a client. That's another one on the list. Another common mistake is not communicating with the client. Now, if you notice in the last page or one of the last pages in the buyer and the seller consultation, the question that we ask is, how do you want to be communicated with? If they want phone calls, guess what you're doing? You're calling. If they want text messages, guess what you're doing? Maybe a text message. If they say, oh, email is the best, guess what you're doing? You're sending them the email, but then you're going to send them a text or a phone call reminding them that the email came in. One of the things that always grinds my jaws is when an agent says, well, I only communicate by text messages because I'm all that in a bag of chips. And I keep my voicemail full so nobody can leave me a voicemail message. Really? Why do you think Kevin and I have hair this color? Because we've seen that one time too many. In fact, if we had a buck for every time we've heard or seen an agent do that, we'd be retired on a beach somewhere, I think. There you go. All right. Number 7 on the list is not knowing the hats that you need to wear within your business, which we have for you in Jumpstart Session 4. And with that, you are not time blocking to accommodate the tasks that need to be done, which is why Monday Morning Boost got started. And for those who have been on my Monday morning 10:30 Boost call, one of the things when you say you're going to work on whatever, I say when. I drill it down to what do you need to do and when are you going to do it? When are you blocking off the time to do it? Because if you just say, I'm going to do it, it ain't going to get done. And unless you block time off, it ain't getting done. Okay. And along with that is not having a database. All right. And that is answered, solved, and addressed in Jumpstart Session 3. Number 8 on the list is not learning something new. You get that every time I turn around. You need to learn something new every week. People often ask me, well, how did I learn, all this stuff? Because I know all this stuff. One item at a time. One item at a time. And what used to scare me to no end was the tech stuff. Until finally, I just said, I will learn one new tech thing this week. One. Now, there was probably 101 on the list of stuff I needed to eventually learn, but I just addressed one. And that gave me momentum. Then all of a sudden I knew 2 things. Then all of a sudden I learned 3. Then there was 4, and it built and built and built and built and built. There you go. So not learning something new every week. Number 9 is not getting help when you need it, whether that's hiring a TC or hiring an admin or, again, not getting the help when you need it. Number 10 on the list is unreal expectations of the cost of doing business. Gang, you're in business. You have a real estate license. And in case you haven't figured it out, there's expenses that go with it. You have annual dues. That should not be a surprise, by the way. Okay, that should not come as a shocker come September, October, November, when you're finding out that your dues are due. You've got lock boxes. You've got your MLS. Know what your expenses are to run your business. Know when it is. I got a spoiler alert. April 15th, taxes are due. December 25th is Christmas. July 8th is my birthday, but that's not it. That's not important. But know, yeah, I'll be 21. Know when the deadlines are or the dates of your expenses for your real estate business. There you go. And if you are doing just one transaction a year, that's fine. That's your option. But all you're doing is covering the expenses of the business. Okay. All right. Number 11 on the list is budgeting and savings. Common mistake agents make. And again, a long time ago, I was introduced to this Excel formula and I went, boom. So we have that available. If you need it, let me know. Number 12 on the list is common mistake is not saying thank you. This is why I have taught in several of my classes, when you are done with a transaction, before it is signed, sealed, and filed away, you should be writing a handwritten thank you note to those involved in the transaction. Your lender, your title company, your home inspector, your anybody else that was involved in that transaction, a handwritten thank you note, the other agent included. And I always threw in at least a $5 gift card to go with it. Thanks for working together on the transaction at 123 Cardinal. Look forward to the next time around. Go have a treat. Go take a coffee break or a short break on me. Again, it's yes, you can verbally thank them. Yes, you can text them. Yes, you can email. But I'll tell you what, gang, there is nothing more powerful than somebody coming back to their office and finding a thank you note in their mail with a handwritten address on it. I still have, occasionally I come in and there's one on my desk and it just touches and warms my heart, and I keep them. So I have my little, little thank you. If you were to go back to that client, you're probably going to see that thank you note on their refrigerator months later. Same thing with title, same thing with your lenders, because again, that little extra sweetness, because you are going to cross paths with them once again. Okay. Another common mistake, we've kind of mentioned this one briefly already, but not knowing what hats you need to wear within your business. The managing, the marketing, working on your business, working in your business is that of the advocate, the consultant. The other hat is that of the realtor. And again, we do have that printout for you on my website, Agent Resource Center bonus handouts. It's there for you, the hats. And that's also covered in Jumpstart Session 4 as well. All right. Another common mistake that agents make is getting burnt out. That is so easy to do. We're thinking about the business 24/7. That is not a healthy place to be. It is okay to step back and to stop and to catch your breath and take some R&R time, rest, recoup, recovery. Take that time to recharge your battery and let it unwind for a minute before you hit it back again. We all need that. Number 14 on the list is putting all your eggs in one basket. And that comes to marketing. If you are putting all your efforts into one marketing pillar, and if you trip, if the market changes, if the bottom of that basket fall out, you got nothing. This is why in Jumpstart Session 4, we talk about the 24 pillars, tires, posts, whatever you want to call them. And we ask you to pick 2, 3, ideally 4. If you are part-time, your database is 1, we encourage you to pick another one. And we teach you how to build it out. If you are pretty much full-time, then we ask you for 3 or for 4. Because 4 tires on a car, yes, on a motorcycle, there's 2 or 3 tires on there. Or a unicycle, there's 1. But if that unicycle tire goes flat, you're falling over. So this is why we encourage you to not put all your eggs in one basket. And there is how we help you overcome that. Number 15 is not having a big enough pipeline. Now, the pipeline ties into your marketing pillars. Where is your business going to be coming from? You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to have just one pipeline. So if you are wanting to build a repeat and referral business, you better have a really healthy database and you better be taking exceptional care of them. That will come, but for most agents, you can't start off with that mindset. So you got to have, where else is business going to come from? All right. Number 16 on the list is not being prepared. Not being prepared by having a buyer and seller consultation at the ready. You have read it through enough times your dog can repeat it to you. And you know how to overcome objections that may pop up. You've also read through the contract paragraph by paragraph, which is why in our daily task, we recommend that you take a paragraph or a page a day, read it, ask yourself, if a buyer were to ask me what that means, what would I say? If a seller were to ask, what does that mean? What would I say? And if you don't know, that is when you go ask your broker, your mentor, your manager, exactly how that would be explained out. All right. Number 17 on our list is not firing a client. Show of hands. Who has ever fired a client before? Isn't it the best thing in the world? When you know that you've got someone who is just giving you a run for your money and you are literally about ready to choke them out. Or I see a few of you laughing. I'm scrolling through to see who's on the call here, who had their hand up. Carl, yeah, you're not hiding. I can see you. So you're right. Firing a client is the best energy, boom, and the weight off your shoulders, because if they're sucking the life out of you and you're trying to figure out how to kill them and tell God they died, it's probably not worth that commission. All right. But because we are so desperate for that commission, we'll hang on to them and drive ourselves batshit crazy. Not a good thing to do. And I still see a couple of you laughing and giving me a nods of the head and the chuckling. You're right. You're right. Okay. All right. Feels good to fire a client every once in a while. All right. Number 20 on the list is refusing to get real with the client. Sometimes you need to have that serious heart-to-heart. And this is why we teach you in the buyer and the seller consultations. And if you've been to any of my classes, it's one of the first things I go through the classroom rules. And one of them is, may I have your permission to be blunt and honest with you? Tell you what you need to know and not always what you want to hear. I say that exact same thing to the client. When we go through the page of my promise to you is blah, 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 blah. We get to the end, you sign it. You say, by the way, may I have your permission to always be blunt and honest with you? Tell you what you need to know, not always what you want to hear. Are you okay with that? And they say, yes, absolutely. You say, great. Because the day I need to do that, I'm going to remind you, you gave me permission. Gang, that little technique in itself takes the weight off your shoulders when the day comes that that home inspection came in and it's got something in there that nobody saw coming, and you've got to go back to your seller and say, remember that day you gave me permission to be blunt and honest with you? And you kind of giggle and they giggle and you go, good, because guess what? Today's the day. This is what we found, or this is the problem or the challenge we need to solve. Because don't forget, I'm your PPS. That is why that's covered in the buyer and seller consultation. And I address that from Jumpstart Session 1. You serve as their advocate, their consultant, their realtor, and their PPS. That used to be on my signature line, on my website, on my name badge, on my every card I had, every postcard I did. And it always was a conversation starter. So what's the PPS? Oh, I'm glad you asked. I am your professional problem solver. Because isn't, for those that are seasoned agents here, isn't that what a real estate transaction is? Is nothing but solving the problems that come up. And when you've done, a few, you know what problems are going to pop up and you address it before it comes out of their mouth oftentimes. And there you go. All right. So this is where all these pieces of the puzzle then all start coming together as well. Okay. So sometimes you do need to get real with the client, but you've already asked for their permission. You've gotten their permission. It's an easy conversation. It's when you don't get their permission that you're sweating bullets, because now you have to go have an awkward conversation. Well, it shouldn't be that awkward. You are the professional. You are the PPS. Lay it on the table. There you go. And they appreciate it. Number 21 of common mistakes agents often make is floundering and not being committed. That doesn't mean that we need to have you committed. It just means that you are not committed to working your business. You should be able to tell me every week what your working hours on your real estate business are going to be. It could be I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I work Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You should every week know exactly what your hours are and what the tasks are that you need to be working on, which is why we have given you the little worksheet. Oh, wait, let me pull it out. It is daily tasks and the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And yes, you can retrieve this right off of my website. And you should also be able to find this in the resources in Cardinal Nest. Okay. This asks you flat out, what's the work week? What's the one thing you need to focus on? What are the hours that you're going to work that week? On days, you just write them in. Here's the tasks that you need to be making sure you're doing as many of those as possible. And then your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for one day. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever it is you work. There you go. We got it. We got you covered. We got your back. No excuse that should be a problem. If it is, you need to take a deep dive and a deep look as to why you are letting it run you ragged. Okay. All right. Number 22 on the list. We're getting down to the bottom. Number 22 is not mastering your marketing. Gang, you are in the marketing business. You are not a secret agent. Some of you pretend to be. This is a business face-to-face. They know you and they trust you. And how do you earn that trust? It is through your monthly newsletter that goes out. We've already got those done for you. It is for the free reports that you have available. We already have those for you. It is through the blog posts that you're able to do. Oh, wait, we already have those available for you. It is through your buyer and seller consultation that's selling your skills. Oh, wait, we already have that for you as well. We have the 24 pillars of marketing for you to decide which ones speak to you and hit your hot button. We've got that. We also then have once you've decided that, how do you break it down and go into a much deeper dive? That is what our 230 class is about every week as well, is mastering your marketing. And we take a different topic of the 24 every week and take a deep dive into it. In fact, as a matter of fact, today, which is March 20th, for those that may be on the re-listening to it down the road, is absentee owners and how to identify them, what is the best marketing messages to them, and how to understand the basics of a 1031 exchange. Because if you don't, you may end up costing that client $20, $30, or $40,000. Because, oh, wait, you didn't know, doesn't fly. Okay, so there you go. So not mastering your marketing. And with that, mastering your marketing, that is always stepping back and asking, am I sending the right message to the right target? If you've got a farm of 100, again, in the geofarming class that we've done, I've asked you to research it and give me the numbers. How many of those 100 are actual homeowners? How many are renters? Which means that house, the owner lives somewhere else. So you've got them as an absentee owner, but you've got a renter. And if you find out that it's 50-50 and you send out, do you want to sell your home? And half of them are renters, you just wasted your money because you sent the wrong message to the wrong target. Gang, I don't want you doing that. You want to waste money? I don't know, take me to lunch. But it's getting the right message to the right target. It's the target, the bullseye. Okay. Now, can a renter, trick question here, can a renter attempt to sell the property? Okay, give me a yes, give me a no. I'm going to scroll through real quick. I'm seeing thumbs. You are, yeah, they can. And has it happened? Oh, heck yes. Heck yeah. Can't make this up. Okay. In HQ2U, and if you have missed the HQ2Us, you got to go to them. Find out where the closest one is. Go. They are well worth the drive. You network with the other agents. It is a phenomenal day. When in October, when I did the horror stories of the real estate world, okay, this came out at this one. A renter had gotten the, do you want to sell the house? They thought, well, we've been renting for, a long time. I'm going to make up and say 10 years. They thought they could pull it off. They got a hold of an agent, listed the house, got an offer on it, got it under contract. And it wasn't until it was under contract that the title company discovered that John and Debbie were not the owners. Susan and Bob were the owners, and they lived in another state. But the renters were trying to sell the property. Swear to God, can't make this stuff up. Cannot make this stuff up. So there you go. There you go. All right. So the last thing ties back in is sending the wrong message to the wrong target. That is humongous. This is why we have made sure in a multitude of classes, we teach you how to leverage newsletters, how to leverage for reports, how to leverage your blogs, how to promote them, how to drive traffic to your website for those things, how to make sure you're getting the right message to the right target. Do not send them the postcard that says, hey, you want to sell your home when they're a renter. But in resources in Cardinal Nest, we have the newsletter for you and the instructions. We have free reports and simple instructions. We have blogs posts. We have 30-something blog posts already ready for you. And the simple instructions. So we've got you covered on every single one of these almost 30 common mistakes that agents make. and why they often fail in this industry because of those mistakes. So I'm going to open the floor up. Kevin, do you have any that have popped to mind that you want to add in?
I'm just thinking, I'm laughing because I remember it was 2 years ago. I had one where the tenant was moving out of the property and the buyer came up and gave him 20 grand to sell him the house, not knowing that they were the tenant. This was about 2 or 3 years ago now. And that 20 grand is gone, right? And so, but it happens all the time. And it's another great case for hiring good real estate agents to help them in the transactions. Literally hand them $20,000. It's like, that makes no sense. And I
Yeah,
put in
but I
my
had fun spending it.
Oh, yeah, right. I put in my comments that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 takeaway was probably my biggest takeaway from your presentation in San Diego last evening. Thank you for that.
You are welcome. You are welcome. And of course, as we just found out from Miss Denise, who, my God, has been working it and doing it, she just picked up a new listing. So for all those on the call, nanner, nanner, nanner. There you go. So yay, Denise. Good job. Good job. Good
Way to
job.
go, Denise. Yeah.
Okay. Woohoo. Okay. I have another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 spin down for you real quick. And then I'll come back and see if there's anything else you think of. Okay, so this one came in Sarah's um Tuesday tidbits that she sends out. 5 real estate conversations, 4 sphere of influence calls, 3 thank you notes, 2 coffee or lunch meetings, and 1 unsolicited video CMA. There you go. I know that a lot of you have talked about doing little videos and or recording something up for your website or whatever. I figured out one way to do it. I'm sure there's probably 15 ways in which to do it. I figured out one of them. And so we'll probably be doing a mini class on that. It's not difficult. There's just a lot of little steps to it, but it's not that difficult to do. And this is why I have videos embedded on my website in the how-to directions and some of the other stuff, because I want you to see it can be done. And again, I am far from tech savvy with all the latest and greatest and modern and, hit. I'll figure it out. There's more than one way to do it. I just happen to have one, and I know there's probably 10 other ways to do it. So, okay. All right, Kevin, was there anything else in your years of experience that you have seen as a common mistake that agents make that just over and over and again?
Inactivity and expecting the business to come to you.
It,
And you can be a passive real estate agent. You can be an active real estate agent. My theory, doing well over 100 transactions a year in California, by the way, where it's tough, I think,
mhm.
is that being a passive real estate agent, you get what you get, right? Eating bonbons in front of the soap opera all day is not going to do it.
It's not. Now you tell me. Okay, fine.
Now, you know it's not.
Just the thought of eating bonbons sounds good. I have to buy me some next time I go to the store.
We're going to have to explain to everybody what a bonbon is because I see a lot of very young people on this call.
With the little ice cream drops, okay, covered in chocolate. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Let me scroll through. Let me drop over to the chat box real quick. If you have another one that you want to share, feel free to raise your hand or drop a note in the chat box. Yeah, persistence, pessimistic or optimistic. Oh my God, is that the glass half empty or half full? Um, let's see. The 12-week year, yes, love that book. There is a book called The 12-Week Year. It talks about breaking down things quarterly. Best, 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 best. Fire the client. Yeah, that is a life sucking, energy eating, one way I'm going to jump off the cliff thing. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, that is a great one. Yes, Kevin does some coaching with some pretty impressive agents out of California. And for those that are wondering, he let me be his guest speaker last night. I've done it a couple times before. It's a great group. And
I love
I didn't know Andy was a professional football player
He played for the Raiders for
and the
five,
Chargers.
And the
Yeah,
Chargers, yeah, later on the Chargers. So, and so when you commented about the Chargers moving away from San Diego, I just don't understand that. Who moves from San Diego? Well, duh,
yeah,
like me. But
yeah,
but
me.
but he's a really neat guy, and he's got this whole different platform and stuff, and he's just a really neat man, very kind man.
Yeah, I
Big
Googled
boy.
him. I
He's
Googled him. Yeah, I was
yeah,
impressed. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he's a big
So,
guy.
yeah,
He's a big guy.
excellent. Yeah. Bonbons are the best. Yes, Denise will be doing this. We may actually invite Kevin. Again, a great book, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. There's a lot of good books out there. In fact, that is one of the things I need to add onto my page is
Yeah,
what's on my bookshelf
yeah.
and list out some of the books that are great and wonderful. Again, I've got no skin in the game on them. Actually, you know
That
what? I should set up an Amazon, whatever they call it, and anything that I make, I can donate back to Samson Cares.
huh? That book came up this morning in David's call with Sam was there and uh, what's his name? I can never. Casey was there,
Oh,
and
good.
they
Yeah.
they all said this is the book. And I read this book years ago. I'm getting it on tape now because I can't read anymore. So it's law school. I haven't read a book since law school, which was 30 years ago. But boy, on tape, wow, those are
Yeah.
really cool. And Amazon, you just mentioned that. I mean, it's like $15 a month. It's like really seriously.
Yeah. And you can listen on the go. So okay. Well, great. Well, thank you, everyone. I again, if you got anything else to add, raise your hand real quick. If not, we're going to wind this down. Again, this is a good one because again, it's important to know what to do, but I'm a firm believer, Denise, I'll come right to you. It's also important to know what not to do because it's real easy to fall into that trap and slide down that rabbit hole. And it's very difficult to pull yourself back out of. So, Denise, what else did you have to share with us?
Going back to the books, I think that's a biggie. Like when I'm reading and doing the positive things in the morning and all that, I think when we don't do that, that's when we see our business fall off. I think
Yep.
you have to continue to read and do positive reinforcement every morning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It can be done reading. There's all kinds of stuff on tape and that you can pull from YouTube as well. I've got a Pinterest account and I started finding um, positive affirmations, and there's some beautiful ones that come up, and I save those suckers. And when I've got a minute of, oh, I just need to recharge my battery, I will go to it and just flip through a couple, and it just picks you right back up again. So good, good. Thank you. Thank you for that, Denise. All right, Kevin, what did you have as
Can I,
well?
can I just do a shameless plug? So,
Yes.
so Samson Properties has now authorized me because I'm a certified DPOR instructor to teach the broker upgrade. So everybody here who has a salesperson's license, I'd like to see you get your broker's license. I mean, once you get that, your life changes. Look at what happened to Linda, right? Your life is going to change. So
Yeah.
please, anything I can do to help you, I want you to be successful. I really do.
Yeah. And I will give a shameless plug back. Kevin, for those that don't know him, he is a JD, which stands for juvenile delinquent, Juris Doctorate. He is an amazing wealth of knowledge. He's still a professional witness for often court cases, so he gets to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. He is just again a fountain of what the to do and what not to do. He and I both know a couple of agents that went to prison for shit they pulled. Prison. People, not jail, prison. So we've seen a lot of stuff, which is why we love to be able to share and help educate you guys along the journey as well. So if you are thinking that you would like to get your broker's license here in Virginia or which other states, Kevin?
I actually teach in California as well, and I teach at the university, but also I can get you your broker's license in California, get you your broker's license here. I just want you to do well, and trust me, it's just such a big deal. People don't think about what a difference it is to get a broker's license versus a salesperson. I think it's a mindset,
Mhm.
and I've just seen it just and it's not that hard. You pass the test already, folks. Everybody hear me? You already passed the test. It's the same test. Okay, it's got some minor variations to it, but it's essentially the same test you passed when you got your salesperson's license.
Yeah. Now, do you do Maryland and DC, or right now just Virginia?
No, no, no. I'm currently held prisoner in Virginia, and I love it here. I haven't done the others. I do casework, law stuff there, but as far as teaching the broker upgrade, I am a deep horse certified instructor, so I actually am certified to actually teach the upgrade class. So, and Samson's going to start. We're going to start doing that at Samson. So I want everybody to be aware of it. Be good to yourself. Listen,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to help you. I want you to do well.
Yeah. And again, Kevin's a great instructor. He's entertaining as well as knowledgeable, and you'll have a good time and learn a lot in the classes. So if that's something, just keep an ear and an eye out for that. And there'll be some more announcements about that coming your way as well. All right, my friends, that is going to wind us down for this series of common mistakes that agents make and how to avoid them with Samson's help. I am proud when I went through these lists of the common mistakes and was able to identify that Samson already had in place the tools, the trainings, the worksheets, the whatever to keep you on the right path. That made my heart sing that day. Is that we got you covered. We've got your back. There is very little that we haven't already brainstormed on, and we've got more coming. We absolutely have more coming. I recently had a meeting with Sarah, and I said, I'm not done yet. I've got so much more that I want to bring and do. And she was excited and happy to hear that as well. So anyway, with that, you guys go take a break. I'll see you back at 2:30 for our next episode of Master Your Marketing. We're going to be talking about absentee owners and a 1031 exchange and what needs to be and why. And keep an eye out on my website on the Agent Resource Center. Come heck or high water, my goal for tomorrow is to finish off the listen and learn page. And then I've made myself a note to also add the what books are on my bookshelf. And I know Kevin's just posted a list there as well. So go check that out real quick. Be great, be wonderful. Take care of yourself along this journey, but always be hungry and thirsty for knowledge. Learn something new and put it into play, because I don't care what you know. I don't care what you think you know. I want to know what you're doing with what you know. And Denise, kudos to you. Keep up the good work. Very proud of you. All right. Be great. Be wonderful. I will see you in the
Thank
next
you.
session.
Thank you,
Thank you
Lynn.
so much. You're
Thank you, Lynn.
welcome. You
Bye-bye.
are welcome. Bye-bye now.